Hey, it's Joe Glines from the-automator, and we're going to cover what we automated this week with AutoHotkey. Let me switch over to my desktop. There we go. I'll use Prompt Assistant to... Actually, let me first change my DPI. Actually, let me do that with my hotkey. So that's Windows 1 for me. Oh, that's funny. So that's interesting. I have a reminder here because my webcam's up here, and it reminds me. But apparently with the DPI, it changes that, and my webcam, of course, doesn't. So I'm going to have to adjust the script to take that into account, which is interesting. I don't know if Isaias is, because he has a different version of this. He has his own version. I wonder if his does that. Anyway, so the DPI adjusted. So now this is much larger, which just means I don't have to edit so much in the videos. And recently modified files. Let's see how we did this week. I moved my taskbar over so you can see it because there was one cool thing I started adding to a couple of mine, and we're going to go through and update like all of our scripts, which are like 200 or so that we've shared, and it's a really cool thing. When we get to it here, it'll be in the list. It should be in the list, so I'll show you. So reactivity test, biofeedback. So we're doing some automation for a company on automating this old Windows program, which actually they're getting a new update, but it's built with some older controls. It's somewhat tricky to automate. It's not horrible, but there are a couple times where we actually have to look for the image and do an image search, which is surprising because that's rare for us. But hey, you know, if that's what you have to do, it's what you have to do, right? For Jeff, we're doing, he's been doing a lot of stuff. He's making some good progress. Actually, Isaiah said he's been connecting to a lot of people, which is great on LinkedIn, which is awesome to hear because that's one of the things we're doing for him. Thomas apparently has still done some more stuff, and he was having some problems with one of our AI tools. I think it was Talk to AI, and it had something to do with maybe the version of FMPEG or Windows 10 and where the data is stored. I don't think we actually got back to him. It was a really busy week, and when he reported it, we were very busy with client stuff. And let's see here, AOI. So we're doing some stuff with this AI W2 form stuff. So it like kind of uses the same concept of our OCR thing, but it's programmatically converting the file, the PDFs into another file, and then we shove them into an AI tool, and we're getting fields there and storing it in a JSON data. And boy, the last couple of weeks with ChatGPT and Google and Claude, Anthropic for that matter, all releasing new things from their objects and things, it's been really wild. So, and I haven't actually told Tom. Hi, Tom, if you're watching. We did do some more testing with those new W2s you gave us, and our prompt was working great. We uncovered actually, which I know he doesn't, you know, he knows how to fix this, but he was trying to block out, and he was obfuscating it with a picture, but even though it was covering the text, when we pushed it into a PDF and we're reading from the PDF, we could still see the text. So when we do this in bulk, we don't want to be pushing the client data up into the cloud just to be safe. So he needs to work on that, which I think he knows how to do it, right? So it's not a big deal. Or he can ask us. We did a video. I don't think we'll share it. Or if we do, it'll be a small group of people of the PDF and locations of the XY coordinates. It was really interesting. The XY coordinates in a GUI, it starts at the top left, like here, up here, or for this window here, and goes down and over for the XY. In math stuff, you kind of have a grid, like a 4-point grid, and it starts in the middle, all right? And you have your 4 quadrants. You guys have probably all worked with that. But on PDF, they start at the bottom left, and it goes up and out, up and over. And it was kind of fascinating how you have to change your math based on what you're providing it, what you're getting it from. But Tom is going to be highlighting in a PDF, so he needs to know the coordinates from there. So we'd have to change our anchors, right? And there's probably a simple way to invert it mathematically. I didn't look at that, but it was interesting. And it was also interesting just to find out the why the programs, because really, most program stuff start from Western stuff, and we read left to right, and the computer draws from left to right, starting in the top left corner. So that's why ours start there. Math, it really, the Cartesian math thing, that's where he decided to do the middle. And the upper left, I think it's upper left or bottom left is negative. The upper left is, -1 and positive on the other and whatnot. The PDFs, they started off from printing, and old printers would start at the bottom and print up. So that was the reason why. It said there's no real reason, there's no one that's right or wrong. They're just different systems. Anyway, so... don't know what that is. Add required. Audio transcribe. We've been doing a lot of script with this, updating it. It's, I think, a very inexpensive tool from us. It uses our AI library. You have to get your token, but it does voice to text. Does an amazing job on it. And that's what Thomas, if I remember right, was having some issues with, and I don't think we've still solved those yet. Sorry, Thomas. AI audio, these are all related to that. This AI, actually, here's the error assist version, which is really cool. Zayas did a lot of work on that. We were trying to get a hero member, give him early access to it to play with it and give us some feedback, and he was having some problems getting it to run. And we finally, I think Zayas got it finally after, the 4 or 5 hours of work. He spent a lot of time on it to get it to fix some quirkiness we were having with it. But I'm kind of hesitant to launch it the way it is because you have to add 2 or maybe 3 different API tokens, and for most people, they're not used to that. So I think it might be smarter if we were to just say we're going to make this a subscription service, and we will take our, we'll create a token for you, but we'll go do all the work, and then you just pay a subscription fee instead of a one-time fee to us, because no matter what, you have to pay for the tokens, and we'll just have it on ours. But it's just too much, I think, to ask people, especially non-techie people, to use it, because we got some really cool tools we've developed with it. That error assist one is really cool. The AI auto transcribe is great, but that one has more complexities to it. The part of this was that listing of sound devices and FFmpeg, which also that sound devices might have also been what Thomas's problem was. So that's, now I remember right. Isaias worked through it, and then Isaias used Git to track the changes and told Irfan, you go look at the threads and see the branch and see what has changed and go reapply that to the other, because we have a bunch that use the same similar approach. So we're going to update those. I don't think that's been done yet. Our AI OCR tool, if you watch the video on that tool is just so cool and very, very helpful. Talk to AI is another one of those that uses the same stuff. And it's really, that one's interacting with the prompt, and you can do voice or selecting stuff and have it do stuff. The error one, though, spots, you can do everything else the other one did, but also it watches for AutoHotkey errors, which is really cool. And I might make it where we can do other language errors too as well, which would be really neat. Transcribe and summarize. So our transcribe and summarize, we launched this earlier this week, and it's an amazing tool. But what I realized also this weekend, because I don't normally use it for that, but we're going to have it, I'm going to add one thing to say, hey, let's say generate up to 3 titles for the video, summarize it, and generate a well-constructed title that'll be sort of clicky-baity or high interest for people, because why am I for other stuff, normally I'm doing other things where I don't need that, but hey, a lot of people would probably want that. This clip history suggester, so these are getting into the auto suggester, these are getting into ones that we're doing. We're also mapping out all of our files and making sure we have everything set up in a proper way. Quick blur. I think Rizwan's going through and adding, what was he adding? Oh, he's adding the videos back into them, which is really cool. So when you're running it, you can go to the system tray menu and see a video on the tool that you're working with. So that's one he's doing, and I thought of another one. Let me just come down here because I added it to my main script. And so this is my main script. I can hit right-click and say edit, but see this open folder? I thought, why don't we have in our system tray menu an open folder option, and that will open the folder where the script is. And so it's very, very easy to do. Let me see if I can open up Notepad. It should be. Let me see if I can paste that over there. Hold on just one second. Yeah, so this was on my clipboard. So for V2, if you already have the tray thing, we often do is create our own object. So tray, I don't think this will be tray here. It'll be something else. It'll be close to it though. But we're saying open folder, and then we use a fat arrow thing to run the script directory. And this is just a comment for me where I was injecting it in some of our other ones. But I'm going to ask Rizwan to go through, and all the V2 scripts, it'll be this. V1, it's a little more complicated because you have to actually, you can't do a fat arrow, so you have to call it another function. It's not overly complicated, but very, very handy if you have a script running and you don't want to have to go find it. If you want to edit it, you can right-click and edit it, but sometimes you want to go to that folder because there's other files there or something, and so why not have that in the system tray icon, right? So that's when we're going to be adding to a bunch of our stuff. So he's going through and adding the videos. Let's see if we can just click one of these. I don't know if he's added them with the blur. No, it should be somewhere near the top in these. So, well, that's weird. He's, I think, adding the placeholder. So here's the video link placeholder, but I don't know why he would do that one at a time. To me, I would add that. I'd get the URLs first and then do it all at the same time. Maybe I'm mistaken in what he's doing. I don't know. But it's going to be very cool. So when you're running a script that has it, you can say, oh, I have the script. How does it work? Let me click the link to the video and go watch the video on it, right? We always think of the videos drive people to our apps and scripts, but it could be the reverse. They might get the script and then go, hey, I need to watch the video. So it'll be cool. This will just be another thing in our script object and make it easy to do. Bring to mouse. That one, there's one. I think that one's, we're just testing it now, but it allows you to either select a window from your taskbar, or if you have a selection, let me just, I double click it? Bring to mouse, let's see. Yeah, it looks like I think that's the system tray icon, and I can right click, so Control W, and it's right now, because this is selected, it's going to display the list of windows. So let me open up Notepad again. I'm going to move that off screen, and now, was it Control W, I think? So I'm going to put my mouse here, Control W. It lists a group of them with their icons, which is really cool, and I can select it or double click it, and it brings that program there, which is really cool. But if I wanted to skip that, I can not display this, and what I can do is, I should have left this active, put it over here. And what I can do is I can activate it here. As long as it's the active window, now when I move my mouse here and hit Control W, it brings it, right? It skips that window to let you select. So it just depends how you want to use it. I think most people, it's going to be one or the other. And that's why we just said, hey, let's just, instead of having it somewhere and making it complicated, let's just put it in here. The display list is running. I think that's, even though the other one, sometimes it's what I want, I really like to be able to just see that list. It makes it very easy. So yeah, that's cool. That should be out this week, I hope. Check AutoHotkey. I don't, maybe he's just updating that. Mark active tab, Chrome. Yeah, that's a AI or UIA tool, excuse me. Clip share, this is one of those that I updated. So again, I can right click here and I can say, somewhere in here, open folder, right? So it makes it very easy. We might change it to where like that's the default, because usually when we're done troubleshooting stuff, open isn't something you normally do, right? So you can easily change the default values on things. So it'd be really cool if we could just set that as I double click it, it opens a folder, right? Instead, or restart it maybe. Create drive. This one, we made a little update. We made a separate video on that, so I'm not going to demo that, but it's pretty cool. You can create a fake drive, and now we have some icons, and we allow you to import and export it. So you set it up once, and then if you do a Windows update, you don't have to redo them, because some major Windows updates will overwrite that setting in the registry, which is stupid, but that's Microsoft for you. Get Dropbox link. This one, it's hard to explain, but we work from a fake drive, and then sometimes we'll be in there, but when you're in there, you don't have an active link to your Dropbox. And so I guess I can show you here. I'm in my B drive, and I'm on my B drive. Well, I can right click, but I can't say get. There's this for the thing from Dropbox, but there's no way for me to copy the path, so I can not restore previous versions. Where's my resolve folder? That's what that other script does. I just had Isaiah's help me put it as a context menu item, and this will navigate to it into and I moved it over here into the correct folder. So see, it's the same folder, just a longer path. And now if I click something here and right click, I have my copy, make a transfer, copy Dropbox link and whatnot. You know what I maybe should do is combine both of those and say, hey, you know what I really want is, if I'm in the B drive, let's say I'm still in the B drive here, right click and just say copy Dropbox link, and it will go and get that one, and I don't have to navigate to it, because 9 out of 10, sometimes I want to get in the real drive, but usually I just want the hyperlink because I want to share it, and it just saves me time. But that I might have to update that one to do that. And this was an interesting idea. Now, we haven't fleshed it. I built a temporary version of it using Claude, but in FFmpeg, so in DaVinci Resolve, which is what I'll use to edit videos like this one, and it has things that you can say, remove sections where you say or blank sections. And it occurred to me, well, the or that would be tough for us to at least initially start off and do. But the blank sections, I'm like, FFmpeg can probably detect if there's no sound being played, and be able to just say, hey, go exclude that from the recording. So I had Claude develop a little script, and it didn't take me but a couple minutes, and it actually was cutting out. I said, set the threshold at a second and a half. Anything where there's a second and a half where you don't hear anything, just cut it from the video. And sure enough, it did. And then I remembered in the Assembly AI API, we have a way where we're already getting every word and the time point of when it was spoken. So we actually could say, hey, delete all the ums and uhs, or delete swear words or something, and it would actually go through. And what's cool, in DaVinci Resolve, they did, to me, a horrible job implementing that idea, that concept. It's ridiculously painful how they implemented it. I can't say how strongly I dislike it, but I still use it. So, but I'm like, hey, what if we could create our own where it's just a tool where we say, hey, remove the ums and uhs and a little checkbox. Remove the ums, uhs, remove the silence, remove swear words. And of course, maybe you go and edit the swear words because some people think certain words are bad and some people think others are bad. But what a cool little tool we could build, and to sell it for not a fortune, but also make it something that's so easy to do. Let me just run my video through that and clean them up. So I think that's pretty cool. Get active path. This is, again, a great script. I can hit Control-Shift-C, and this should even on this script. Oh, I don't know if it's actually running right now. I did, I might have to reload. I did added that one where I had the folder reload. So if this is the window active, Control-Shift-C, there we go. That copies the path to that file, and see here I'm working from the S drive, another fake drive. But that's a really cool script, because like if you're in Word or Excel, it will instantly give you that file path, which is really awesome. Shelly, we automated some stuff where I can assign a hotkey, and like this, I can turn on and off these lights in front of me. I'm using Stream Deck in this one, but we set it up where I can use AutoHotkey easily to use a WinHTTP request to toggle that, or to turn them on or off, or look at the power usage or whatever. So that's really cool. This one actually is misspelled, but it's not the Bluetooth. It's for toggling Bluetooth. And during a hero call, Connie had adjusted it, and then it wasn't working for him, but it did work for Irfan. So during the hero call this week, Connie shared a screen, and we were troubleshooting it, and Isaias was looking at it, and we spent a good amount, I'd say 30 minutes or so, and it was very interesting of the complexity. And what was happening was he was toggling it, but before the toggle could happen, the GUI disappeared. So it said it was toggled, but the GUI would disappear and it wouldn't actually implement it, is what we kind of realized, because we added a sleep and waited for something to happen. And when we did that, it fixed it. But we finally realized what we had to do. But it's one of those things that UIA is a blessing and a curse, right? It's great that approach is there, but it's so complicated, and it takes a really well-versed programmer to do something. Sometimes it's easy, right? Sometimes, or I shouldn't say easy. I don't think it's never easy. With Descolada's macro recorder kind of thing, sometimes you can get what you need and it works most of the time. It is better than image search, or sending mouse clicks, but boy, it's just complicated. This adding thousands one, this one I think we put on the automator. It was an interesting example of, with V2, how much more complicated it was. I don't know what in the world. This is our Claude class. Apparently we made an update to that. Irfan made an update to the getting Explorer, getting files in Explorers. Apparently we're updating some of our objects. This is that monitor one that I was just using earlier, and that's when I also added a button to open the folder, which is really cool. My search and replace in Word, I've done some videos on this before, and I was updating. It's what I use. I write my newsletter in Word, and then I use a website to convert it to HTML, and then I take the HTML and I look for key things that I've pre-coded for my template, and it puts in my signature and my banners and things, and format some stuff the way I want it. It just saves me a lot of time, so that's a simple one there. I think I was updating the something to do with the newsletter picture. No, something else. I forget what it was, but it's nothing major. PhoneLink, we're going to have to, we'll put this on the automator as a download. Normally I use push bullet, but one of our clients had a problem. They couldn't navigate to the push bullet website, so we finally gave up and just automated PhoneLink directly. And apparently this is working fairly reliably for our client, which is great, because it's using UIA, back to UIA. The first version, I felt embarrassed because it was breaking a lot, but that's what happens, right? You get something working on your computer, and then you give it to someone else in a different environment with different bandwidths and different everything else. Some approaches break down. So But we added some cool stuff. If you want to automate texting, if you have an Android phone with Windows, it's pretty easy with PhoneLink. Script object, power plan. This one I don't think we've shared yet, but you can edit your power plan. Prompt assistant, we're making some more updates too, and finding a better way to report bugs and let people also kind of disable the warning, because if you get an error, every time you launch it, that error will stay up there until someone fixes it in the database, and it's really annoying, even though it still runs, right? And so I think a lot of users get frustrated with that, and so I was telling Isaias we should have a way where it can offer to send us a report, but it also it sends just a fragment of the information, but also doesn't keep showing you that error every time you launch it, because it's really annoying. And Isaiah thinks the errors are often with the icon, that it's too large, possibly. There was some sort of an error with the GDI library. Apparently him and Descolada had talked about that when the file's over 4 megs, I think, something like that. He was having problems with it. These are all prompt assistant, recently modified files. So here's this script that we're running here. That's another one I added that opened the folder, because sometimes it's very handy. I also, let me show you, it's the main reason why I brought this over, was this script, is we added the hotkeys to this list. Not that they do anything, because when the alt-click opens the folder, and double-click will run the file. Those just but they're just reminders. Normally when we add things to the system tray menu like this, we also have it where if you click it, it will do the action. But the problem, of course, is, well, I'm not active. I guess I could be. It could take the active, this one that is selected, and do it. But I said, don't worry about that. I don't really care about running them. I just need a visual reminder, because I don't do that action very often. So now I can alt-click and open the folder, and it will open that folder of the file I'm on, which is cool. The step away alert, again, that's one I can just hit a hotkey and it sends a message. We added our Telegram bot to our Automator group, and I can hit a button and it will let the guys know that I've stepped away from the computer for a few minutes. So I don't have to sit here and write a message or interrupt them if they're busy. I can hit a button and just know that they're notified. This teleprompter, so Isaiah did during the hero call, we updated that one. Let me double click it and show you. So last week, I think it was last week or the week before, I was having a problem with the DPI. Now the DPI is higher. Let's see what it does. It's so big. Let me see if I can move it over though. Nope, it's still with the DPI. That's interesting, because he made that smaller. Let me adjust my DPI, and I'll have to restart. I think I'll have to, because it's interesting. Scripts are interesting. They look at your DPI once, and when I hit save, now see on the right, here's the scroll bar, and that will adjust the zoom level. And I'm going to have to let Isaiah know that actually on mine it still was off the screen. And what I had suggested initially was we move this over to the right, and it's a dumb solution, but then I'd be able to see it. Now, but part of my script would be off the view probably, so that'd be bad. But he just needs to make a little more of an adjustment. Somewhere in here we had hard-coded the width, and we probably should get the size of your desktop and adjust it off the size of your desktop instead. Because that's just bad to be hard coding numbers. Yeah, we really try to be hard, not do that. Let me move this down here now that I got the extra space. We're almost done, so I want to put it back. Top of the script. Well, I guess we are done. So hopefully you enjoyed that and learned something new. It's the end of the year. Hard to believe that. I hope you have good plans for the holidays and for New Year's. Thanks for watching. We enjoy you guys being here. It's really helpful. And let me know if there's anything you'd like us to look at for you. We have a team of guys that this is all we do, and our guys are very good at it. It can save you a lot of time and give you better code than you could quite possibly imagine. Like it's as I was telling Michael, he's a radiologist, the other day, I said it's almost like we're drug dealers, right? When we get people started and they start to realize what we can do, they get hooked, and they keep having more and more calls with us. In a good way, because of course they're saving time and being more productive, so they enjoy it too. So that's awesome, and it's great because that's one thing is I live for. I just love it. All right, have a great day. Thanks for watching.